And
There he is, handsome man.
back, oh my God, everybody. It is time for the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast with me and him.
Oh yeah, baby. Wadzilla's here with Dr. Fuck. How you doing, brother?
Oh man, things are good. Things are busy, but things are really, really good. So far, 2025 is being kind to me so far. I hope it continues because last year was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far this year, I still have some bullshit I deal with, but whatever, I just keep rolling, baby.
Awesome. I am super stoked because I am loving the reception we got to our last episode. The
Well,
Michael Schenker,
what did we do last episode?
the second album from the Michael Schenker group,
Oh,
MSG.
yeah, great album.
Dude. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, I know this ain't going to be like, a sought after episode, but fuck it. I want to do something different. And it did great. It did better than the previous episode, which was a Kiss episode.
Wow.
And I loved it. I love that episode. Fucking the great Kevin Warhalf was with us.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing guest. Great episode. Fucking Michael Schenker's beating it, and I love that. I let's see the tide turn away from this Kiss fucking faggoty fucking bullshit, like where every Kiss episode goes to the fucking roof. It's like the lowest rating ever for a Kiss episode, and well, check it out, man, because Kevin is amazing, and it is a great episode. And I'll tell you, spoiler alert, it's a great Kiss album. But just to see something that I didn't really believe in, as far as like, people might not care, but I don't give a fuck. People are loving the Michael Schenker episode, and it's doing fucking amazing on both Podbean and YouTube, doing fucking great numbers. And I love that. I love that we can do something off the cuff. And that's what we're doing this week. You picked an album. I'm like, holy fuck, I can't believe you even picked this. But anyway, I love seeing that, something out of the box. Because fuck those podcasts that are just like, oh, we're going to do Kiss because it gets numbers, and we don't give a fuck. I mean, I want to do numbers, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to do just Kiss shit to fucking, get numbers. Fuck that shit. We're going to do what we want to talk about.
This podcast started with a lot of Kiss shit, and through the years, we've done it less and less.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because we kind of shot our wad, for the Kiss shit. But what's funny is, as big as the Kiss episodes are, the only Kiss episode that's in our top 10, I have to double check again. The only Kiss song that's in our top 10 is worst Kiss songs. So that gives me hope, and I love that when I see posts. There's posts on our Facebook page where people are like, oh, thank God, not another Kiss episode. I love that. I love it because you're like me. I'm sick of fucking doing Kiss episodes. And in fact, when you said let's do a live, I'm like, oh. But you're like, with Kevin Warhalf, I'm like, okay. I do whatever. I do fucking Madonna with fucking Kevin Warhalf, But we did something off the cuff, something I didn't think would score at all, and people are loving the Michael Schenker. So that rejuvenates me, gives me hope, for you listeners out there that sometimes I lose faith in. Fucking awesome. Regardless of what I think of the album or not, I just love doing off the cuff shit, and people are receptive to it. And fucking A. Do I think this album's going to do what Michael Schenker did? No. But I don't give a fuck. I just think, you initially threw at me an episode we're going to do next week with the great Chris Sinzak. Due to scheduling, I was like, we're going to do that next week. And then you threw this out. I was like, fucking A, let's do it, But I don't care. Whatever numbers this does, I don't give a fuck. I'm just excited to see.
If I turn one person on to Scary Monsters, worth it.
Nice. Hey, I like your attitude, man.
If I
That's
get
awesome.
one person to listen to something and go, fuck, this is awesome, worth it.
I can't believe you. Well, I mean, I get we'll wait till we get into it. But even if you like this album, I'm surprised.
Well,
You
I'll
know.
get into it now. I don't have to talk about it later. My whole David Bowie thing. David Bowie has always been an artist I liked, but never really looked into. And I
Right.
saw him live in the 80s. It was at the Orange Bowl, Glass Spider tour. And
Oh yeah, with Peter Frampton.
yeah, and it was awesome. They did some songs off this album that I didn't. I knew one of them, but I didn't know the other one. I know it now. So fast forward, like maybe it's been maybe 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I'm at my friend Psycho's house, and he played me the album "The Man Who Sold
Who
the
sold
World."
the world? Yeah.
I still think it's his best album. That album,
Great album.
that album blew my mind. I went and I bought it. I loved the hell out of it. Then I heard "Low." I was like, "Fuck, this is good." Station to station, Ziggy Stardust, of course. A lot of his '70s output was just
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
But this album is my second favorite Bowie album.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
don't think David Bowie's ever done anything as good as this album and everything before it after this. I didn't like Let's Dance, and the one after it was horrendous. I didn't like Tin Machine, but I did like his very last album, Black Star.
Yes.
I
Very
thought
good
that
album.
was very good, very experimental, but very cool. It was back to the very strange David Bowie. That
Did
look,
you hear? Did
huh?
you hear the one before that? The next day.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I like it. I
Okay.
didn't like anything until Black Star. After this album,
Okay.
this album's fucking phenomenal. I mean, it's. I'll get into it later. I mean, I'll talk about how fucking basically every song on here is a fucking masterpiece, and what a
Nice.
genius David Bowie is, and how all through the years it all accumulated to this album where it's just that weirdness, strangeness, yet somehow insanely cohesive. I know that sounds weird, but
Yeah.
these songs are kind of cohesive, but in a bizarre way that's not conventional. Because
Right.
I'm
Well,
a fucking genius.
I will say, as much as a Bowie fan as I am, uh, getting ready for this album, this was the first time I ever listened to it in its entirety. And Bowie is one of those catalogs. I love so much fucking Bowie, but there's still, not a lot, but a decent portion that I haven't heard. And I'm kind of holding on to it because I love him so much, and there's so much shit that I've heard. It's like I want to save something as I'm getting in my golden years. No pun intended. Uh, to discover and to digest. And this is one I knew some songs off it, but I never checked out the full one. So this was the first time I listened to it all the way through, and I listened to it shit about 4 times today. Um, but yeah, fucking a.
Hunky,
But
I gotta say, Hunky Dory's another really good one for me.
oh,
And
that
Diamond Dogs.
oh, god damn, you picked two that are in my top five.
I love
Yeah.
those albums.
Oh yeah. Um, but nah, oh, awesome. Um, but I just want to say, well, fuck it, we got a lot of shit to get into, but I want to say we don't have, iTunes. Nobody goes to iTunes anymore, so we don't have a lot of iTunes reviews. But funny fucking YouTube comments on the last episode. A lot of people give me shit, about they don't trust anybody who doesn't love to love fucking balls in your mouth. And you know, I thought that was pretty funny. I love reading the comments on YouTube. That shit's great because a lot of them I know are people from our Facebook page, But you know, a lot of people, especially the hate that I get, I don't know them. I don't know if they're people from your Almost Human channel or just people discovering the videos. But yeah, I took a fucking shellacking
I
for
don't
my.
know. I don't know. I know I've seen the people attacking you, but I don't think I know them.
But
But
it is funny.
but I will admit they're right. Come on.
To everybody, hey, Jesus be with you. Whatever. Love to love you sucks. But
Well, hey, at least you call it love to love you sucks instead of love to love balls in your mouth. That offended me. I'm telling you, a tampon shot out of my ass when you said that. I mean, what's wrong with you, dude?
uh, we don't have time.
Why?
It's only a,
Why do you
it's
have?
only a 5-hour episode.
Don't you know that I'm a sensitive fucking vagina, sand in my vagina? That when you say something bad about a band I hate, I get very upset as if it was a personal attack on me.
Calm down, Ace Frehley fan. Oh my god, I've been seeing a lot of shit. Boy, there's a lot of pussies on fucking Facebook and the internet, by the way. In case you didn't know.
Oh yeah.
God, and if you don't like what they like, especially you know who's the worst? Ace Frehley fucking fans.
Yeah, you know what? Let's move on.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Anyway,
Let's move on. I don't want to talk about Ace Frehley fans.
enough of those pole smokers. All right, well, fuck it. Let's get into the news and see what's going on here. Apparently, Ace Frehley likes to suck cock. Next story.
I don't know. But I do know he likes stuff shoved up his ass and he pops pills.
Yeah, he's on drugs.
And
Apparently, as much as he loves cock in his mouth, his fans love it even more. All right, here we go. Dream Theater's Jordan Ruin This says, I don't think AI is going to destroy the world any more than all the other technology we've had before it. Well, is what he said. Are you scared of AI, Ralph?
yeah.
You are?
I don't get it. Look, like now on Facebook, people keep posting these AI bands like the AC/DCs, where it's AC/DC songs, AI to sound like a 50s band. And honestly, listening to it, it's kind of cool in a way, but it ruins it knowing that it's not human. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That ruins it for me. I'm too old, man. I'm too old to adapt to this AI bullshit.
Well, I gotta say, I wasn't too worried about it. And then I saw this, you go on Facebook, or not Facebook, but on YouTube, and then you get suggestions based on what you go on and all this shit. So I saw this thing came up for an album by a band I'd never heard of, but it said stoner rock, desert rock kind of shit. Something I never heard of. So I saved it in my, save for laters and shit and watched it. And I was like, ooh, this is really fucking good. And then I'm like, I'm looking to see who this band is, and it says it's from 1977. I'm like, what? I've never heard of this shit. Like, what the fuck is this? And then it turns out it was all AI. It was all fake. But goddamn, it was good. And it checked all the boxes for what I like as far as stoner rock, doom rock, psychedelic shit. But it was a totally fictitious, made up fucking band. This was all somebody typed some shit and went into AI and created it. But I ain't gonna lie, I thought it sounded great. I was like, ooh, this is some lost. I even went looking on all the sites I go on, to steal all of my fucking albums. And I'm like, this ain't coming. That's when I figured out it was AI. I did a little bit more digging and shit. But it's like, oh, fuck, this sounds good. I don't know. It's like a catch-22. It's like, Yeah, I hate the fact that it's fake, but god damn, it sounded better than Five Finger Death Punch or Creed or, shit real motherfuckers putting out, right around now. So, yeah, kind of crazy.
Somebody leave a comment below if you are aware of a hit song that's AI. Is there such a thing? Like, I'm not, of course, I'm talking pop because you can't have a hit with rock.
Right,
I'm just saying,
right.
is there a pop song that became a big hit that's total AI?
I bet you there is, or
There
if not,
probably
it's
is.
coming soon.
There probably is. I mean, but
Yeah,
people pay a lot of money to fill up, big ass fucking fields for a guy up there scratching records.
yeah, that's fucked up. But there's a lot of people who do that. It's
What's
called Burning
different than
Man.
that in AI?
Yeah, and that's the fucked up thing about America. Is America like a big thing here is Burning Man, versus like Europe where you have like fucking Vakken and shit. Let's see. Avenged Sevenfold's M Shadows. M Shadows. Ooh, that's her lead singer. He says, "The day I realized God was not a feasible option for me, my whole body shook in fear." Avenged
I
Sevenfold.
saw him open for Metallica. They were god awful.
Oh God.
But I'm telling you, I'm in a stadium, right?
All right.
Young people around me are going ape shit over this fucking band.
Oh, they were like fucking Five Finger before Five Finger. They're
They're,
like pre Five Finger.
they got a really, really great response. And I just stood there going, one song was okay, I'll admit. They had a song called Nightmare, I thought was good, but the
Yeah.
rest got awful. And then the band before them, I didn't like at all. Volbeat,
Oh,
not
they suck.
not one song I liked from them. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, didn't he just come out and say that Generation Swine's a great album?
Oh no, that's a fag from a different band. What the fuck's that?
I forget, but I saw
Yeah,
that like, wow.
yeah, yeah. I think I tagged you in that shit. It was funny. But anyway, no, Avenged Sevenfold. I remember when they first came out. Well, I think it was like their second album. There was a song called Bat Country, which I didn't mind. I mean, it was modern shit, but I'm like, it's kind of catchy. So I bought the CD, and this is probably early 2000s, mind you, or mid 2000s. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it. It was horrible. I liked the one song. It was a total, the epitome of that. You hear one song and you buy it, and you like no other track, and that's how it was. But people love that shit, and now that new band is fucking Five Finger, which are huge, and that's why new kids suck. That's why the next generation sucks dick. And I'm glad that we're gonna die soon. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm glad we don't have to live around to see this shit fucking ferment. I'm not sad about getting old. I'm happy about getting old. You know, like yeah, I don't want to see what you fuckers spawn.
We have been living this nightmare since Iron Maiden, Somewhere in Time, and Judas Priest Turbo, and the Ultimate Sin Ozzy. That era right there is how you're feeling now. Back then, I felt like that in '86.
Oh, oh God,
It was gay, bro.
horrible times.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Notice back then, the AIDS epidemic was huge, which goes to prove my point about that music.
Yeah, well, if you look this shit up on fucking Wikipedia, look up the first fucking registered case of AIDS, same release date as the first Man of War album.
I thought you were going to say 5150.
No, 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 Man of War. Let's see here.
5150 is when it spread to the heterosexuals.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It became cool around 5150 to suck cock. and get demon sperm in your mouth. Um, they brought it to the masses.
And that's why Manowar was ahead of their time, because it wasn't cool
Yeah.
back then.
It wasn't cool, but they're like, you know what? We're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, but still, they were ahead of their time. They were homos before homos were cool.
Yeah.
Hail and kill. I hope nobody from Mofo and Metal saw me saying that. Then they'll realize, I exaggerate for my Manowar love. I was telling Ian before this, my love for Manowar is exaggerated and bullshit, though I still think Eric Adams is the greatest metal singer. That I won't
Stop it.
But I will say that on Mofos of Metal, that group, I talk about how Manowar is better than every band, better than Sabbath, better than Merciful Fate, better than the Beatles. They're the greatest thing ever. And the hate I get is fucking hilarious. And then I translate it to the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast. You guys are lame. Nobody attacks me there.
Well, I took a lot of shit on that page when I said I thought Manowar was better when Sammy Hagar was singing.
Oh God! Now you're being offensive.
Okay, bye. All right. Max Cavalera explains why now is right for the time for him to bring Nailbomb back for more live shows. Are you a fan of Nailbomb?
Nah, I remember when that shit was new. My friend Buckwheat had it on.
You didn't like it, huh?
I didn't like it. No.
I dig it. I mean, there's only the 2 albums. There's the first album, and then they did a live album.
It was black and white with a lady on the cover.
Yeah, with the gun to her head and shit.
Yeah, that's the one I heard.
Yeah, Point Blank. I liked that. And then the second one was Proud to Commit something suicide or whatever. Oh, there we go. We're gonna get unfunded for this episode. But I dig it. I've always loved electronic shit and industrial stuff. So I liked the mix. I thought it was really good. And Point Blank, I think it's fucking awesome. Cavalera Conspiracy's coming around here, but again, it's like on a Wednesday at like fucking 12 noon, so I'm not going to be there. But fuck, I love fucking Nailbomb. I would definitely check that out. But what sucks is I don't think it's actually like, I think it's like just Max Cavalera performing the Nailbomb songs, because I don't think the other guys with him, dude from a UK band called Fudge Tunnel.
Wasn't that guy from Fear Factory in that band?
He played on a couple songs. Dino played guitar in a couple songs, and like Igor and what's a guitar player from fucking Sepultura?
God damn it. The guy that's still fucking running this show.
Yeah, I know, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, yeah. Andreas Kisser, yeah. So they're on like a couple of songs. There was a lot of people who made like guest appearances, but the most, like pretty much like on every track is Max Cavalera and the dude from Fudge Tunnel. But I don't think that guy's got anything to do with it now. I think it's sort of like Max like trying to make some money and shit. But anyway, I dig that album. I think it's cool. I mean, if they did a tour where they're playing that, fuck, I'd be there. Unless it was on a Tuesday at like fucking noon. But good stuff. Oh, man, how did you miss this, Ralph? Chris Barnes says 6 Foot Under's concert in Orlando is one of the top 5 greatest shows / performances in his life.
They played here last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with who's headlining that? Nile.
It's a co-headline, them and Nile.
I gotta tell you, I opened for 6 Feet Under in Puerto Rico. There's a fucked up story. I'm not happy about this. I think it's kind of lame. But Ryan, our guitar player, stole Chris Barnes' weed. Chris Barnes.
Oh yeah.
He had a box full of weed, and I was backstage. I didn't know Ryan stole it, and I was backstage watching fucking Chris have a temper tantrum because I guess the guy needs his weed, you know.
Yeah, he's a
So when
weedhead.
I went back to the hotel and Ryan's there. I was like, "Oh, it was you? That's fucked up, dude. What the fuck? Guy's weed, you know."
What's Ryan doing now? Is he playing with anybody?
Yeah, he's back in Condition Critical. He was in that band a few years back, and he said something on stage that some Karen saw it as racist.
Yeah.
So they kicked him out of the band for that, and now he's back in the band. I don't know.
Condition. That's the Quiet Riot cover band where all they do is Condition Critical.
Yeah, no, they're a
Okay.
good band. It's a good thrash band. I played with them twice. They're good, and they're good dudes, man. But you know, they had it out with Ryan, and now I see Ryan's back in the band. I'm like, holy shit! Ryan also has his own band called oh fuck, what's it called again? I told him I didn't like it. Body Blow. He's got a hardcore band called Body Blow, and he's playing me it, and I'm going, dude, you're doing the same sound effects Rob Flynn does in Machine Head. That grr, grr, that stupid sound effect he does. I was like, I fucking hate. I go, dude, your band sucks. You got to stop.
You mean like Zach Wild but with flange on it?
You know how Machine Head's sound effect.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
It's horrible. You hear it in Davidian. Let freedom reign with the shotgun.
Oh, I love that song though.
That shit they do in that. I can't stand that shit. I told him, dude, knock that shit out and it'd be good music. But
I tell you what,
he don't listen to me.
your former bandmate that I think is doing the best is fucking Brian, man, with fucking Night Demon.
Dude, he is living the dream. He's doing Night Demon and Hell Witch, and they both tour like around the world.
Oh, I didn't know he's playing with Hellwitch too.
Oh yeah, he's in Hell Witch. So yeah, Brian's a busy.
Better than fucking Ingve, you know.
Yeah. He left Ingve for these projects, but hey, Ingve was cool with it though, man. Brian told him he couldn't do it anymore, and Brian told me Ingve was actually cool with it, and he wished him luck, which is cool of Ingve, you know.
Well, I heard the story a little bit. Is Ryan told me Ingve that he was a donut, and Ingve is like, I don't eat fucking donuts. That's what I heard, you know. But anyway, Chris Barnes, look at this motherfucker. He looks like fucking goddamn Satan Claus. He looks like fucking Santa Claus up there, fucking full white beard.
He's a little more presentable now. Back when I opened for him, God, with the dreads and
he's still got the dreads, but he's got like the white beard. It's funny, like I'm sorry, to me, like a middle guy in his middle 50s or late 50s singing fucking death metal is fucking hilarious, you know.
No,
I love 6 Feet Under. Fuck it.
I love Eat Back to Life. I think that may be the best Cannibal Corpse album, and he sang on.
Yeah, no, I dig him. I got it. It's funny, like as much as like I'll take 6 Feet Under over Cannibal Corpse, which I know is like blasphemy to most people. But I dig it because musically it's more rock and rolly than fucking Cannibal Corpse, where it's just like, you know, where I think there's like a cooler beat to fucking 6 Feet Under. But I gotta say, Corpse Grinder's voice is held up a lot better than, you know, Chris Barnes.
Oh, Chris Barnes sounds horrendous.
Yeah. I like me some Corpse Grinder. I like that shit. It's just one of those things like I listen like 2 or 3 songs, like I'm good. You know, like you play a full album, like new DJ.
I can still sit down and listen to a full death metal album from the birth of it. I mean, like those Morbid Angel albums, to me, there's nothing better. But then there's, you know, Obituary, and I also like Suffocation and Immolation from Yonkers, New York. They're fucking brutal. I mean, there's a handful of death metal bands that I still follow, you know, and I still dig, but nothing beats like Morbid Angel, Obituary, Deicide. The first two Deicide albums are the first one in Legion, up there, one of the greatest.
Demon! Demon!
Yep, man, it's fucking amazing stuff, man.
I think if I had to listen to a death metal album from like start to finish, though, it would be Death. You know?
That's another one, man, and especially the first three. Though I love them all except the Sound of Perseverance. I thought the last one was terrible. You ever hear that? Their cover of Painkiller?
Yeah, I've heard it.
It's fucking horrendous, though people love it. But
Hey,
I like individual thought patterns. I like individual thought patterns that has Andy LaRocque. I like symbolic. Human is great, but to me, it's all about the fucking first one, leprosy, and spiritual healing. That
like ones I could listen to from start to finish. I mean, I dig Scream Bloody Gore, but I would say Leprosy and Spiritual Healing are ones like, okay, I can jam on that. You know, I can get, even though, like, I'd still say, like, man, give me the first fucking three 6 Feet Unders. But I understand, like, musically, it's not the same as, like, but I love Haunted. I love fucking Warpath. Fucking, what's the third one? The one when they got rid of Alan West.
fucking fine.
Maximum Violence. Oh, fuck. I love that shit, dude.
Disney
Love,
death metal.
love that shit. But,
America, the brutal.
The Brutal. That's off of True Carnage. Love that. I love 6 Feet. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I went from hating that. I'll never forget my buddy Matt playing that for me. And we used to make fun of that shit so hard. We used to just look at each other and be like, look to the sky. The sky is black. You know, and laugh our ass off. And then by the time Warpath came out, I'm like, I love this shit. You know? But, and I still fucking Lycanthropy. This is the one about the wolf. I love that shit, dude. Fucking awesome. I'm still trying to warm up to fucking Morbid the same way. I dig some Obituary. Deicide, I like some songs here and there. I'm still like, once he didn't kill himself at the age of 33, I lost all respect for Glenn Burton. You know? It's like, yeah, you could burn that shit in your head all day long, but you were supposed to kill yourself at 33.
dude,
And you didn't. So you're a poser. You know what? You might as well put on a Man of War shirt, you know? Because you're fucking a poser.
Dude, I one time saw Glenn Burton pull out a gun in a club wanting to kill a motherfucker because somebody keyed his car.
And it was loaded with caps. Like,
Yeah, that was brutal. He wanted to kill somebody.
he's still alive. He's a poser. I can't take Glenn Burton seriously. He said he was going to kill himself at 33.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, he said it. It was in People magazine. He said he was going to do it.
I think that's folklore bullshit. Gigi Allen said he'd do it, but he overdosed before. But I don't think Gigi Allen was going to do it.
Yeah, Gigi Allen. He's not a poser like Glenn Burton.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm glad he's worm food. If anybody, I'm glad his worm food is Gigi Allen for beating up chicks
Yeah, but
on video. By the
those
way.
chicks. Hey, what about we forgot to mention this sicky wife beater died.
I love Sicky White Beater, bro. You know, I
saw you made a post.
Yeah, I have the most hilarious interview I did with him that I can't find. I wanted to put it because I did a news segment on it. He was beyond drunk, and it was a hilarious interview I did with him. I don't know where the fuck it is now, man. But yeah, I love the mentors, man. Mentors, you know, now you can't, you know, people are too, you know. But mentors are fucking hilarious. I never raped a girl. I never, you know, drugged a girl. but I love these songs. It's just music, man. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
I love the movie Deliverance, and that's a guy wanting to fuck a guy, squeal like a pig. It's disturbing, but I enjoyed it. Though I don't want to get fucked up the ass and squeal like a pig, but I come from a different era. I come
See,
from
the fucked up thing is Mark Daly does, and he doesn't like that movie.
yeah,
it's weird.
It's odd because Mark Daly's old, but he's still.
All right. You talk more about how Mark Daly wants to be raped. I'll be right back. I got to pee.
Mark Daly put up a video of me and Ian doing "You Can't Stop Rock and Roll" in Nashville like 3 years ago. I haven't seen it since then. I don't even think I've ever seen that footage. I might have. I don't know. But it was pretty cool. I fucked up the end. At the end, the last verse. Yeah, I can tell. I'm looking at it, I go, yeah, I'm mumbling there. I don't know these lyrics. I know the lyrics, I just forgot them. Because I got the first and second verse perfect. Third verse, I forgot it at the moment. And that's happened to me a lot on stage. It's about, when I do that Thrash or Die. There's some Thrash or Die shows I forget the lyrics, and I remember the melody. So I would sing the melody, but actually be mumbling. And throw in a word here and there. Really good at that, man. I did a lot. I fucked up so many times on stage. Nobody ever noticed except my band members. They're the only ones. But everybody else in the audience, they don't notice that shit. I'm good at that shit, man. Is Ian back yet? Hello, Ian.
Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm just grabbing some more beers.
Good, because I ran out of shit to talk about.
Did you already talk about Mark Daly's EP that's out now on KTEL Records? Called Every Cock I Ever Sucked Before?
There's just so much you can say about Mark Daly.
Yeah. All right, we said enough. Let's see. Tim Ripper Ellen says he's open to writing an autobiography, but says, I'd probably hurt some feelings doing that book. My thing is, probably not any more feelings than you hurt when Demolition came out.
He gets really offended. He gets offended when people say he sounds like Rob Halford.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's how you word it. I think I tell him, you sound like Rob Halford, but not as good.
Well, there's people that think he's better than Rob Halford.
I'll tell you, hey.
I don't think that.
Hey, fuck it. I think he sounded great live when I saw him. I would say, hey, you sound better than Eric Adams,
Yeah, right.
You should have sang for Man of War. Fuck Iced Earth.
Hey, why are you illin'?
I'm not illin', bitch. I'm chilling. Let's see. What else is going on here? Mark Tremonti says Metallica's Master of Puppets made him want to pick up a guitar, and that's why Ride the Lightning's my favorite Metallica album.
Master of Puppets is better.
You like Master better, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, not me.
I used to think Kill 'Em All was better than Ride the Lightning. I don't think that anymore. I think Ride the Lightning.
I guess I could make it a. I could say Master might be a better album, but I prefer Ride the Lightning. I guess that's the way I should phrase it. I prefer Ride the Lightning. But I'm not hating on fucking Master of Puppets. It's perfect.
Ride the Lightning has a better opening track, and I love Battery, but Fight Fire with Fire, damn.
First Metallica song I ever heard.
That's the best opening track on a Metallica album. And I'm putting that above the amazing Battery. Even a lame album, but my God, Blackened. Metallica's never wrote a song as good as Blackened since Blackened. What a song.
Well, that's because Jason Newsted wrote it.
I know he had something to do with it, yeah.
All right. Rudy Sarzo is doing a new collaboration with Brad Gillis and Tommy Aldridge.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I listened to the interview and he is, but it's only one song on some other dude's album.
right, and it's not like an Ozzy or Sabbath cover.
No,
It's
yeah,
a
exactly.
cover.
I mean,
It's a cover.
I'm interested to hear it, but man, I was listening to Speak of the Devil a few months back.
Yeah.
What everybody talks about Brad Gillis, which rightfully so. Brad Gillis owns, but man, listen to Rudy Sarzo on Speak of the Devil. Holy shit, does he roll on it? Rudy Sarzo's a fucking god.
And a nice person.
Very nice.
Anybody who's ever met him, I mean, that God, what a sweetheart of a guy, you know. And he, when I met him when he was playing with Jeff Tate, and he signed my Metal Health, and just super nice guy and just appreciative, zero ego, just killer dude. And he's played with everybody.
I've met him several times. The last time I met him was with Dave the Beast Spitz. And
Nice.
Hey, Rudy, can I take a picture? He goes, yeah, man, but let's get Dave in the picture. It was so cool.
Dave was cool when we met him at Judas Priest, man.
Dave is
Nice.
awesome. Dave,
Nice.
I did a really good interview with Dave on my Almost Human channel. Check it out.
Nice. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. All right. So, yeah, anyway, I'll check out the song, hear what it is. I'm glad it's not an Ozzy song. I hope it's a good song.
Yeah, I don't want to hear them do an Ozzy song.
I'll tell you, another band, kind of like a forgotten thrash band, but one I really dig, and I got a feeling you probably like them too. They're going to release a new album in February, and that's Hyrax. You like Hyrax?
I love Hyrax.
Nice.
Caton rules, dude. Caton,
Yeah.
that guy has the most awesome t-shirt collection out of everybody. That guy's a true metal god. Oh, I love it. And me and Caton are friends. I mean, social media friends, but we talk now and then.
Yeah.
He's just a super, super nice guy, and man, is that guy metal.
Oh, fuck yeah, he is.
There's a lot of pictures of Caton with Cliff Burton, and he was around the scene forever, man.
Oh yeah, and it's one of those things like I knew of Hyrax, but I didn't really listen to him until after I saw the documentary Get Thrashed.
I'm surprised you like him with Caton's fucking vocals.
They don't bother me that much. It's like he does have the cadence where he goes high and low, but it's not as annoying as fucking Sean Killian's. You know what I mean?
No, I don't. No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay. Anyway, his vocals are better than Sean Killian's. So for anybody wanting to listen,
wow.
So if you don't like violence, go check out Hyrax. They're a better band.
Wow, Ian has spoken.
There you go.
Hey, who was that idiot that was saying that violence sucks, and yet he's a fan of the darkness? Who was that? I forgot.
Oh God, the only person I know that admits to liking the darkness is Jack Roberts and Justin Childers. So it's probably Jack Roberts.
I know it ain't Justin Childers. Probably Jack Roberts. Whatever.
Yeah, probably Jack Roberts.
So you're one to talk, bro. You like the fucking darkness.
Yeah. But anyway, Hyrax. I'm excited for new Hyrax, man. Definitely check that shit out. That's a band I'd love to see live. Because I love these old school thrash bands who never made it big. You know what I mean? So when you go see them live, there's no mailing it in. There's no okay, we're just going to play the radio songs. They're going to play whatever. They're going to play the shit, they feel. And it would be amazing. Have you ever seen Hyrax live?
No, unfortunately.
Man.
They've never been down here, else I would have seen them.
Well, hopefully on the next album, man. Let's. What else? Cradle of Filth. They suck.
I like Cradle of Filth.
Really?
Yeah. Up to Cruel. Up to Cruelty and the Beast.
Yeah, I bought that album, because I kind of bought into like the fucking the hype at the time and all this shit around. I'm like, hey, let me see what this shit's about. She was horrible. That shit was horrible, man. It was so bad. I was like, oh, give me this money back. Fucking fagula. Fucking, they think they Dracula, they fagula. That shit was terrible. Fucking whatever. Let's see what else going on. Mark, how do you say his name? The dude from fucking
Alvin
Death
Taylor.
Mark Allen Taylor from Death Angel says he suggested a few names of potential fill-in singers for Death Angel for the Wasp tour, but they decided not to take him up on it. And
I mean, he suggested Jacob. What's his name? Jacob. I forget. The guy that used to be our enemy. Jacob. Jacob Smith. No, not Jacob.
Mark Jacobs.
No, God. Yeah, I think his last name was Jacob, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I forget. The one with the lesbian wife.
Yeah.
Andrew Jacobs.
Andrew Jacobs, yeah.
Yeah, he suggested Andrew Jacobs. That's why they didn't do it.
Yeah. But no, in hindsight, I'm like, no. You need to sing for Dark Angel. Go back to your day job. Kerry King's band's playing here in Seattle. I want to go see him, but again, it's on a fucking Wednesday, so I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, I totally think Death Angel made the right decision. Don't get like a fill-in dude for a fucking one tour, When people want to see Death Angel, they want to hear Mark sing, I mean, point blank, Mark fucked Death Angel. That's all there is to it,
Hey, but he tried to help him,
Yeah, but I'm on team Will Carroll, Will went ballistic on Facebook, and then he kind of like walked it back a little bit. But I get it, dude. I get it. Like, you're doing all this shit to like rebuild the Death Angel name and to show that you're still relevant and do all this shit. And then you got a chance to do this tour, which, I mean, you're playing for Wasp, which a band, like, overall, you're better than Wasp. But, it could have been beneficial to him. And he's like, but I want to pay a lot more rent touring with Kerry King. He did kind of fuck him. So I love Mark. I love Death Angel. I love Wasp, everybody. But yeah, Mark fucked him. There's no way to sugarcoat it. He did what was best for Mark, not what was best for Death Angel. So, oh well. Let's see what else we got here. Skid Row's Rob Hammersmith says we're still actively searching for our next singer. Who the fuck is Rob Hammersmith?
He was a nice guy when I met him. That was the drummer.
Yeah, gotta be. Okay, well, you know what? You ain't the other drummer that I don't care about, then I care even less about you. What was the other? Rob Affuso. Yeah, if you ain't Rob Affuso, shut the fuck up.
Rob Affuso's awesome.
Yeah, good guy. Corrosion Conformity is recording their first new studio album in 7 years, and they got, who's their drummer? I think it's another New Orleans boy.
Ricky.
Is it Stanton Moore? Did they get, or who did they get?
Ricky Rocket.
Or no, Ricky Rackman. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, Ricky Rackman is their drummer.
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, I hope it's good then.
No, Ricky Rackman's their drummer. It's not going to be good.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Ian, you were there that night, right? When Ricky Rackman played the Ramones live with a bass. Were you there? That was New Orleans. I mean, Nashville.
Yeah, I might have been drunk. That sounds pretty shitty.
Ricky Rackman played that place, where we all went to see those shows. And Ricky Rackman did, I think it was Blitzkrieg Bop, and he played the bass and sang. It was like, dude, really? This is a Ramon song and you're fucking it up?
Yeah,
What a
that's
no
pretty.
talent hack. Oh, Bushy was over the moon interviewing that poser.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Fucking Bushy, another fag. I love him. I love him, but what a fag. What a fag.
Ricky Rack. Ricky Rackman is only one fucking slot away from Eddie Trunk.
Fucking Bushy. Let's not inter from Bushy. Bushy was in Metal Edge, but in the black and white pages, not in the color pages.
We need Bushy on the show.
We do. I miss Bushy.
He's such a touchy asshole. Him and Mark, they both pretend they're not touchy, but they're constantly attacking people.
Bushy always calls me like while I'm working or like while I'm on the way to work, and I'm like, I can't talk right, and then I forget about this shit. And I need to call him back. I love that. I think he's going to Rockin' Pod. Another reason you motherfuckers need to go to Rockin' Pod, not only to hang out with our cool fucking asses, but in real time, in real life, you can make fun of Bushy to his face. Do it. All right. Here we go. So last week we did the fucking the Michael Schenker episode where I was talking about how, in my opinion, the greatest singer that Michael Schenker ever played with was Robin McAuley. And my pick of the week was Black Swan, the super group he did with Reb Beach and Jeff Pilson and the guy that was smart enough to leave Ace Frehley's band, Matt Starr. But now Robin McAuley's putting out a solo album, and I listened to like 2 tracks from it, and I was like, made me regret everything I fucking said. it was fucking terrible. It was terrible. Oh my god. I love Robin.
You know it's really good? I mean, I liked it a lot.
What's
I got
that?
to hear the album, the Mark Sirachi song that he released.
The who?
It sounded like classic Crocus.
Oh, Mark Starachi. Okay. Yeah, no, I ain't heard that. But yeah, the new Robin McAuley solo album. Oh man, and you know he recorded it with a bunch of it's Frontier Records, which I can't devolve what the fucking word. Anyway, I can't tell you my sources. But I've heard that Frontier Records is nothing but a front for the Italian mob. But it was recorded with all like Italian musicians, and musically, it's just so generic. It just paint by numbers fucking crap. The lyrics are terrible. I mean, are the vocals horrible? No, but what's coming out is like, you know. The shit of Black Swan, I thought, kicked ass, man. You know,
Very good.
And even like the fucking glam rock kind of shit he did with Michael Schenker with the Macaulay Schenker stuff, I still liked, but the solo stuff from him, I'm like, ugh. Yeah, not good, not good. Check out Black Swan though. Don't give up on Robin McAuley. He's got some good shit, but this new solo album I heard ain't amongst it. Let's see here. Oh my god. Did you see the cover for the new David Lee Roth box set?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Oh my god, is that horrible or what? It looks like somebody spent like all the fucking 2 minutes on that shit.
I don't know.
I'd love to, I'd
I'd
love to get it. It's the Warner Brothers shit. You know, it's crazy from the heat through fucking Your Filthy Little Mouth. I'd love to have it all on vinyl.
I have them all on vinyl except for Your Filthy Little Mouth.
Yeah. I'd like to get it, but there's no, like, I didn't even see, like, it just says what's coming with it, but I don't know. Is it 180 gram? You know, is there anything special with it? I mean, if I'm going to buy this, it's got to be quality vinyl. You know, it can't be just, you know, throw it out on some cheap shit.
I ain't buying it. I don't know.
But the packaging is this horrible, like, Miami Vice fucking, like, pastel Easter egg color bullshit. Horrible packaging, you know, but I think the only one of those I have on vinyl. I know I have Eat 'em and Smile on vinyl, original pressing. I don't know if I have a
I have,
skyscraper.
I have, I have Eat 'em and Smile and Sonrisas Sabay. I have the Spanish one.
Oh, oh, you got the fucking Spanish version, huh?
I
That's
have
hot.
both. Yeah, I have both.
Nice.
And I have Skyscraper, which ain't good. I liked Little Ain't Enough. I have that on vinyl.
Yeah.
But Your Filthy Little Mouth out on CD. Your Filthy Little Mouth ain't that good, but man, it's got songs like Sunburn and Land.
Oh yeah.
Really good songs. It's toward the end of the CD. It gets really, really good.
Yeah. That's what there's some great songs on it, but there's some horrible songs on it, and the timing for it and for the climate it came out like Dave used Nile Rodgers like a decade after he was relevant as a producer. You know. Uh,
I saw that tour in a little club.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember that night, David Lee Roth goes, Sammy Hagar, you're number one. I remember.
Uh, I remember there was a thing like when that album came out, they did a special on Fox on the Fox network. Like, and we're talking like '94 when this shit came out. It's like, wow, that don't look good. That you're doing a special on Fox. And yeah, not a good album, but some great songs. Sunburn, I think, is amongst the best he's ever done. But there's a lot of shit on, and She's My Machine, I think it was a great track. But
I love Land's Edge. That's another good one.
yeah,
And I love Nightlife, the cover. I thought that was really
yeah, yeah, but yeah, and he wasn't reading the room, I would say, on that album.
But Nightlife really showcases what a good singer he is.
Well, so does Sunburn, man. Sunburn is like Dave fucking the mic, man.
That may be my favorite song on the album.
Yeah. Sunburn is just like, wow. That's like some, it took me back to like Secrets and shit like that.
Yeah, it's cool.
I think it's funny. Like, I'm on some of these fucking gay ass Van Halen pages, where they like to suck Sammy's cock. And I've seen people say, like, Secrets is one of the worst Van Halen songs ever. I'm like, you're fucking nuts.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, I fuck you, Mark Daly. Fuck Mark Daly daily. Right up the ass.
I don't want Mark to get mad at me, so I'll keep quiet.
Oh,
You know those gay people, they're a little sensitive.
Whatever. My dick's so sweet, he'll keep coming back to suck it. Let's see what else. Anything else? Fucking Megadeth, they suck.
I got something funny to tell you, Ian.
What's that?
You know what? I'll save it for after the show because I might offend somebody by saying it.
No, fuck that. Say it now.
All right. Well, I'm not going to mention the person's name, but there was a guy on Almost Human Live, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't on Almost Human Live. I did his podcast. And at the end of the podcast, I said to him, since he had a record collection behind him, I said, hey,
Yeah.
Thursday, we're going to do a random pick. You should come join us. And he goes, no, I can't. Thursday, I'm doing the BS sessions with Mark.
Was that Wayne?
No. And I thought, when he said that, I thought, boy, you must hate ratings.
Oh, shit. All right. Here. It wasn't Wayne?
No.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, I'm still not going to give away his name, but in his defense, he had no idea that BS session and Almost Human were miles apart as far as viewership is.
Oh, it must have been Al Horta.
No, it wasn't Al. Al Horta joined us actually. He was there.
Okay, well,
I'm
taking guess.
Yeah, when some of the shit he picked, some of the random stuff he fucking brought out. What the Elf soundtrack? That movie Elf.
Who did that? Al Horta?
Yeah. And then he pulled out the Grease soundtrack. Everybody's goofing on. I'm like, hey, I got the Grease soundtrack.
I love him, but
It was a really good episode, and Tony and Wayne, we're all picking good shit.
all right. One last story we got, and then we'll go to it.
Yeah, let's get into the album already. Give me one more story.
All right, last story. This is kind of funny though, and you'll like this. There was a riot at a recent Man of War concert in Poland. Okay, where the one guy who was there got into a fight with the other guy in the audience because he spilled his beer. It was a special Man of War show where they were playing their album We Suck Cock, a street opera in its entirety.
Well, I heard one of the two guys that went in there was confused. He didn't know it was a Manowar concert. He thought it was an Oasis concert. And he went in there to let everybody know that Oasis is better than everybody. And he's an American that lives in Poland.
And that's what made the story true. All right, fuck Man of War. Let's go into it. This one, wow, I'm really surprised. What made you pick when you said let's do the Ramones Road to Ruin? Spoiler upcoming episode, and I was like, let's save that for Sinzak. Pick another one. And you said David Bowie, Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. I was blown away. I was like, fuck yeah, but I was really surprised because you told me previously you weren't that big of a Bowie fan.
Well, I must have told you that years ago.
Yeah, it might have been years ago.
Yeah,
but you said you'd seen him. I think you told me you saw him on the Sound and Vision tour and you weren't impressed.
I saw him on the Scarlet Spiders tour and I loved it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, I was surprised you picked this. But, out of all the albums in his discography, for you to pick this, I was like, wow. Okay. All right.
It's my second favorite Bowie album.
Nice.
Well, the reason I said, because the first one I said was the Ramones, right? I said, yeah. Let's do the Ramones, Road to Ruin. You said, oh, let's do that with Siznek. Think of something else. And I just listened to the title track on my iPod Shuffle. And I was like, oh, let's do Scary Monsters. Because it is, number one, it's a genius album, but it's not very talked about. It's not a popular.
It is, but it isn't. Kind of thing.
But come on, Station and Station Low, they get more attention. Ziggy Stardust.
Oh, yeah.
Then even Diamond Dogs, all that gets more attention than. I mean, Scary Monsters didn't really have a hit like Fame or Rebel Rebel or, Ashes to Ashes was the hit off it, but it's a very eclectic tune, Yeah. It didn't have that mass appeal like, Suffolk City and, Fame, Space Oddity. I can go on and on. Starman. So,
well, it is one. I will say it's looked upon as his last classic album, and David Bowie even used to make a joke. Every time he'd put out a new album, he'd say, "Why don't we just put a sticker on it that says the best in Scary Monsters?" Because it was considered the last artistic statement. Because his next album was Let's Dance, which was a hit, but it wasn't considered an artistic hit. They're okay, this is Bowie selling out. This is Bowie by the numbers, or this is this, and Scary Monsters was considered his last, this is an artist, versus this is a guy trying to make a hit song.
Let's Dance was fucking huge.
Oh yeah.
China Girl, Modern Times, or whatever.
Modern Love. Yeah.
All that shit was huge.
Cat People. The theme song. Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I still don't like it. And the one after was even worse. What, After Dark was it called?
No, Tonight.
Yeah, that was even worse. Yeah, I didn't like that one at all. That's the one with what's the name of that guy?
Blue Jean was
Yeah, that one.
Blue Jean. Well, that's a funny. Like Tonight, I agree, is a horrible album. But to me, there's two like Bowie masterpieces on there. I love Blue Jean, and I Loving the Alien. I think it's one of the best things he's ever done. And those were the two singles. But the rest of the album was fucking horrible. I mean, horrible. But I love those two songs.
I'm gonna go refreshing my thing. So talk a little bit more. Oh yeah, you discovered it today, right?
Yeah. So this, I mean, I was aware of this album. I have this album. Of course, I know the two singles. Ashes to Ashes and Fashion. And I knew the title track. I saw him play it live. I knew a couple other songs, and I liked it, but it wasn't my favorite era of Bowie. Uh, I'm much more, early and mid '70s Bowie, and then I really felt more invigorated with his output in the '90s. I love a lot of the shit he did in the '90s, and then last couple he did before he died. I'm huge fans of. Um, but yeah, this is one I don't know why I didn't check it out. Um, but yeah, I listened to it a shit ton today. But I'm a huge fan of Bowie, and this is to me this is art. This isn't like this is art by an artist. And what I love about it is I kind of look at like Frank Zappa's catalog or Prince or Miles Davis or anybody else who I think like is truly like it's just flowing out of them. I might not always get every era at every point in my life. Some stuff I need to warm up to, some stuff I need to be in the mood for, and some stuff I'll get in later stages in my life. And I think Bowie's one of those. And what I love about it is there's still this untapped era and different albums that I don't know from Bowie yet, where I'm like, that's okay. That gives me something to look forward to. When I want to try something new, but by an artist that I know I love, like, okay, when I'm ready for something new, I'm going to put that on, And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I've heard some later Bowie albums where I'm like, you know. But there's a lot of shit like, Frank Zappa shit that at the time I'm like, I don't get this shit. And then later I end up loving it. And then there's other eras that I'm like, I still don't get, As much as I love Frank Zappa, there's like the albums where he's doing the Seven Clair or something, whatever the fuck it is. It's a horrible keyboard, but it just doesn't speak to me. I'm like, nah, done. Nah, this ain't my Zappa. Same way with Bowie. There's different eras where I'm like, it ain't the same. But I always respect what he's doing, and respect that he's always pushing forward and trying to do shit. So love it. But I got to see him once with Nine Inch Nails, and unfortunately, he was sick when I saw him, so it was an abbreviated set. Uh, did you only get to see Bowie live once, Ralph?
Yeah, at the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, see that sucks. The Glass Spider tour. I mean, it's kind of cool because you got to see him with Peter Frampton, but it was a shitty. Like what he even said was his worst fucking album, and not the best. I heard it was like a good tour visually, but like musically and like set list wise, it wasn't that great.
He didn't do Ashes to Ashes or Space Oddity.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't get to hear either one of those songs, but I saw him in the mid '90s, so he was doing like a different era to begin with. But I saw an abbreviated set because of his illness. What a show, though! What a show, though! Fucking amazing. Um, but yeah, this is an interesting period because this is coming like after he did the Berlin trilogy with Brian Eno. That was Low, Heroes, and The Lodger, which was highly influential. A lot of artists like, oh, that's, this made me do this and all that, but it didn't sell as well as his previous stuff. So he made a conscious attempt for this album. He's like, okay, I'm gonna like, I want to do a commercial record. I want to like, plan this shit out where the Berlin trilogy was a lot of like inspiration, like done in the studio and, off the cuff kind of shit. This, he planned this shit out, did all the music, then he wrote the lyrics, spent a lot of time on the lyrics, did all this shit. It was a very calculated album. And it was his most successful album in years, especially in the UK where it debuted at number one. Um, and it gained traction in the States, but not like in the UK. But you would see this path progress with the next album with Let's Dance was very commercial. But the difference there, that one hit all over the world. So he kind of took, what he wanted to do, he expanded upon it with Let's Dance. But this, I think, is a perfect match of like trying to go in a commercial direction, but still keep your artistic integrity. That stuff Kiss never had. Um, but I think that's why it's often hailed the way it is, because there's a lot of Bowie-esque elements in here, but I would say a more commercial sound than the Berlin trilogy. Ralph, what you got to add to this?
No, I mean, I've been on a David Bowie kick for the past few years.
Nice.
And all these albums that I'm listening to, I'm digging. They're all weird, but I think this is the strangest one of them all. I thought, but yeah, it hits a nerve with me. I mean, one song on this album, man, almost brings me to tears the way it ends because of David Bowie's voice. Um, and what you're saying is weird for him to go into this album thinking it was commercial. I don't see anything commercial about this album at all. I mean, one
Yeah.
song I can kind of see, but the rest is off the wall shit, man. So this
Yeah.
is a fucking strange album. And that's what I love about it.
I do too, and I think it's one of those things where I can see. Yeah, I mean, even when Bowie tries to go commercial, it's going against the grain. So I can see where, like, to him it was probably commercial, but to the rest of us, it's like, uh, what the fuck? But there's also, uh, it was like a retaliation against bands that were gaining strength that he felt were ripping him off, um, but were doing better than him. Because there's all the bands in the post-punk era were having hits at the time, saying how inspired they were by David Bowie, and particularly his Berlin trilogy. The three albums that preceded this that he did with Brian Eno. But artists like Joy Division, Gary Newman is one who's targeted in this album. Just to name a few, Adam and the Ants. A lot of the whole new romantic era that was coming out of Britain was heavily influenced by Bowie, but was selling a lot better than Bowie at the time. And he was angry about that. So this was kind of a rebuttal. There's a song in here, one song on the album in particular, takes a lot of aim at Gary Newman in particular, who he thought borrowed way too much and, was pissed off about his success while David at the time wasn't doing as well. But I love both. I'm a huge Gary Newman fan. Love Gary Newman. Um, and I think Gary Newman was probably doing better at this time, in my opinion, musically than what David was doing. Um, but interesting album, great one. I can't wait to talk about this one. But why don't you take the first track here?
It's a game.
Part one.
Yeah, I love how this album starts. Like it's strange right out of the gate with some Japanese woman talking Japanese. And David is ripping his throat out singing this song. I mean, he really
Yeah.
is yelling his way through it. It's weird, but it's awesome. And also, this song is before its time because that Japanese woman, the thing she's saying in Japanese is Manowar rules and Ian is a false metal poser. And I'm like, but Ian didn't even know fucking Manowar back then.
Oh my God.
So it's
That's funny.
very futuristic.
That's funny. You misinterpreted that. I'll get into it with mine, but keep going.
That's it. Go ahead. Give your Manowar jabs in this song.
All right. All right. Starts up the guitars and the sound of Pearl Harbor and Dave howling. I love it. It's so funny you put that because I put it translates into Easy O is for men. Man of War sucks. You know, for those of you who don't know, Easy O is a Japanese metal band who's much more masculine than Man of War.
Easy O.
Uh,
I love Easy O.
oh yeah, yeah. Easy O, much better than Man of War. You heard it here first.
I wouldn't go that far.
I dig this song. I dig it. It's different. I love the shit. You know, with the Japanese voice. Like, what the fuck is this? And apparently, like he made the woman who did this, I believe, was a Japanese actress, and he wanted her to sound masculine because to him he was trying to like he wanted a feminine voice singing it, but he wanted to sound masculine to where it wasn't like a mousy, you know, chick kind of thing. But it just works. Everything I love the sound of it. It's very of the time, like you know, the New Romantics era, but it's still like the guitar is very avant-garde. He has Robert Fripp from King Crimson plays on a shit ton of this album. Uh, just just shows how he's like ahead of the game, but he borrows a lot. I would say Bowie is one of those. You know, I've talked a lot about how like Kiss and Alice Cooper, like they would latch on to whatever's popular at the time, and they would just like do a watered down version of it. You know, like when cock rock, you know, was popular, you know, Kiss does cock rock. Alice Cooper does fucking Constrictor, you know, and Trash. You know, it's very like following trends. What Bowie would do, he would pay attention to the trends that were going on, but he would take the best out of that trend and infuse what he does with it. And I think that's why he was far more successful. He's still paying attention like the other bands are, but not like, you know, putting it through a Xerox machine. He's like, I'm going to take what works out of this shit. I'm going to add what I do to it and try to stay relevant. So he's still, on one hand, he's trying to like, you know, keep up with what the new guys are doing, but he's like, I'm still going to stay true to myself, where the others would just sell their fucking soul, you know.
Keep talking, Ian. My bathroom's right here. I'm gonna take a piss.
Go ahead, go pee pee. And that's what I love about Bowie. He would do it through this era. He would do it through the '80s. You know, in the early '90s, mid '90s, he'd have stuff like Outside, which is heavily, you know, Nine Inch Nails influenced. And the album after that, Earthling, was much of like the club scene, but he put his own spin on it. And he would take shit for that, but I still think he would make it his own. Where like, you know, bands like Piss and Alice Cooper would just like straight up, we're just gonna copy and paste what everybody else is doing, you know. Which in my mind are even less original than Man of War, because Man of War is just like fuck what everybody else is doing. We're just going to be the most stupidest fucking metal band in the world.
Hell
You
yeah,
know, and do our own thing.
hail to kill.
Kneel and suck. You heard the man right there. Um, but no, I dig it. It's a good opener. Different. It's kind of a good mix, and you'll hear a lot of that on this album. It's a mix of what was best in the '70s and what was coming in the '80s. Very much a transitional album. I think even more so. Like I think the Berlin trilogy is kind of like predicting the future, and this album is kind of like dealing with the future. You know, dealing with like, okay, this is what it's at. This is where we're going. So I don't think it's necessarily as groundbreaking as the Berlin trilogy, but it's more of the times than that was, if that makes any sense. I don't know. I'm just sitting here drinking beer, talking about Dave Bowie, waiting for Ralph to wipe his butt. What?
I can hear you fine. You can go to the next song.
All right, I'll take the next song. Hold on, got to bring up my screen here. Next song, I know it's my least favorite track, but I can't remember the name. Oh, Up the Hill Backwards. Up the Hill Backwards, a song about divorce. He was, officially getting divorced from Angie Bowie at the time. Never played live in its entirety, but they did play a tease of this, I believe, on the Glass Spider tour.
You are, they actually
Yeah,
opened with it.
yeah. So they play like the intro, but then they go into the first song that we just talked about. Probably my least favorite song on the album. In fact, no, I know it's my least favorite, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's, you know, a horrible song. I mean, there's nothing reprehensive about it. But compared to everything else, it's my least. You know, but I even love the Up the Hill Backwards. I mean, that just sounds like a shitty relationship, but true to how a lot of relationships are. Um, so not great, but not horrible either. And now we'll wait for Ralph to wipe his butthole. While Ralph is wiping his butthole, everybody that's watching this online, share your favorite gay encounter with Mark Daly. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Ralph's back.
There's no favorite encounter that's gay with Mark Daly. None whatsoever. I love Up the Hill Backwards. I love this song. I think it's ahead of its time, and that time is still not even here. Love Robert Fripp's guitar work, and but I will say this: there is one thing negative I can say about Up the Hill Backwards. I think it's front loaded. I think toward the second half of the song, it's not as strong. It's anticlimactic, I would say, how the song ends. But while it's rolling from the beginning, it's pretty damn good, you know? I dig it. All right, next one. God, I love this one. Scary Monsters. This shit slaps, like the kids say today. You know the kids say that, Ian.
Yeah, it just hits different.
This thing, it slaps. Kids today suck.
Yeah, they do.
This song slaps.
I like to slap their parents.
Yeah, slap you for bringing up that term, you know? Again, incredible guitar playing from Fripp, and this is one of my all-time favorite David Bowie songs. Not my favorite on the album. I would say it's a second favorite, but the strangeness. Yet it kind of sounds normal in a weird way. This is the work of a musical genius. Scary Monsters, Super Freak. What a great, amazing song. I would put this in my top 10 greatest David Bowie songs, easily.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I don't know if it made my top 10, but I love this fucking song. Uh, and this is one I was lucky enough to see live. And, I think I've told the tale a couple times on here, but fuck it, I'll tell it again for the new motherfuckers, all three of you. Um, I saw David Bowie do a co-headline tour with Nine Inch Nails. It was the extended um, downward spiral Nine Inch Nails tour and David Bowie's Outside tour.
Well, David Bowie was opening for Nine Inch Nails.
No, it was co-headline, but Dave was, of course, the headliner. But what was so amazing about this, I mean, this was Nine Inch Nails at their fucking peak. So Nine Inch Nails, I think there was an opening band. I was tripping so fucking hard at this show. Um, but Nine Inch Nails came out, was incredible, and then towards the end of Nine Inch Nails' performance, David Bowie comes out on stage with Nine Inch Nails. And I went on Setlist FM, and it's very accurate because they mention how the show was cut short because Dave was sick. But so Dave comes out with Nine Inch Nails, and they do Subterraneans off of Low, which is awesome. Then they go into Super Monsters and Super Creeps, which is David Bowie out there with Nine Inch Nails. Then they do Reptile, which is a Nine Inch Nails song off of Downward Spiral. Then they play Hello Space Boy with Nine Inch Nails, which is off of Outside. And then they do Hurt together. It was a duet. And when they do Hurt, it was just like acoustic. It was just, and by acoustic, I mean almost like a cappella. It was just fucking David Bowie and fucking Trent Reznor singing it, like taking turns on verses and shit. And it was awesome. And by the time it comes to Hurt, the screen goes black. And there's just a spotlight on David Bowie, a spotlight on Trent Reznor. They go back and forth on Hurt. And then when that song's over, the lights come back on. Nine Inch Nails is off the stage, and it's David Bowie and his band. I'd never seen a transition like that. It was so fucking amazing. You just see like just spotlight, then black, and then the lights come on, and it's David Bowie and his band, and they jumped into their first song, which is Jump They Say. But anyway, what an amazing show. But unfortunately, I got to see the set list I saw was like 16 songs. Normally it was a 20-song set list for Bowie on that tour, but he was ill. He even said at the end of the show, he's like, I love you guys. I wish I could do more, but I can't. But still, I mean, what an amazing show. And one of my favorite shirts I ever got from a show, it was a long sleeve. It said like 9 David Inch Bowie Nails. And it was like fucking just awesome fucking shirt. Awesome experience. But I took so much acid at that show. The next 2 shows I went to, which was the Kiss reunion tour and AC/DC Ballbreaker, I took a limo to. Because I'm like, I'm not driving anymore. Fuck this shit. It was such a chaotic 45-minute home drive, tripping my ass off. But I'm here to tell the tale. Anyway, great fucking show. But yeah, to see David Bowie do this song with Nine Inch Nails as the backing band, fucking incredible. This was the 3rd single from the album. Love it. Can totally hear the Joy Division on this song. That's something he was kind of using on this album. He's like paying attention to what Gary Newman, Joy Division, stuff like that. Particularly, I mean, if you go back and listen to it, the Joy Division song, She's in Control, you can kind of hear it in this. But I love it. Great guitar noise on this from the great Robert Fripp. Yeah, but I saw it live and I dig it. Um, and the shit that Robert Fripp adds to this, the last album he did before this, Lodger, he had Adrian Belew, who was just coming off of Frank Zappa. Now he's got Robert Fripp. I mean, just these guys that do like, they do guitar, but they add a little something different to it. Check out some King Crimson, man. I mean, King Crimson is fucking amazing. And there's all these different eras of King Crimson where you might not like one at first. You think, what's that? Mountain King. Not Mountain King. That's that horrible fucking Sabotage shit. Anyway, bunch of fucking King Crimson shit. That's awesome. But you got different eras. You got like the Red era in the mid 70s. You got the fucking, Discipline in the early 80s with Adrian Belew in the band. But just the textures and shit they add to it is amazing. I think, Robert Fripp deserves as much credit on this as David Bowie. Killer fucking track. But then we go into the next one.
By the way, they did play the song when I saw it.
Nice.
But at the time, I didn't know the song. I went on FM.com. I typed in David Bowie Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
The song was played that night.
But it's one that, and that's the funny thing. Like, there's plenty of shows I've been to where there's bands that, like, either I was into them or I wasn't, or maybe I might not have been into their whole catalog. And then I see, like, they played something, like, now I love, but back then I didn't know. It's like, fuck. Yeah. I didn't even appreciate that when I heard it. And sometimes you go...
That's how I feel about Scary Monsters. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
They played it that night I was there.
Right. But sometimes, and I mean, I know you can probably attest to this. Sometimes you'll go to a show and they'll play a song like that you didn't know. And that will change, you're like, oh, fuck, I got to look this up because this song kicked my ass live and I never heard it before. And then there's other songs where, like, you might have went to go take a piss because you didn't know it. And, in hindsight, you're like, fuck, why wasn't I, like, headbanging all along or, like, paying more attention?
One that I can't help, but nobody can help if they were there with me, was when I saw Guns N' Roses in 1985.
Yeah.
Unknown local band. I actually found out later on the very first time they ever played Paradise City was the show I was at.
No shit.
And the only song I remember that night was Mama Kin, because I knew the song. But I'm sure they played Welcome to the Jungle, It's So Easy, Mr. Brown. I'm sure they played all that shit. But I wasn't wearing none of that,
Yeah.
So, yeah, Guns N' Roses was the ultimate, because that's a band that didn't even have an album out yet.
Well, like, I think something that's probably lost on some younger listeners and younger concert goers is what concerts were like when we went to them. It was like, it was an event, it was a party. You weren't always there, like, just waiting on bated breath the next song. There was so much other shit going on. You're trying to pick up chicks. You're trying to score drugs. You're fucked up. You're doing all these other things. It's like, if you didn't know something ahead of time, you were just like, hey, I'm enjoying the moment. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. There might be other things that take your attention away from the song. So,
you know what I just thought about? I saw that Guns N' Roses show in October of '85. This year, It's going to be 40 years since that happened. 40 fucking years since that happened. Now, 40 years ago, I think I've already been to like at least 50 shows by then. I saw the killer, arena acts from 1979 till now, But 40 years, man, that's insane.
How long were you in California?
Roughly about 4 months, 3.5 months. The last couple of weeks there, I was homeless, eating out of trash cans. A trash fat burger. There's this, I don't know if it's still there. There was a chain back then.
Fat Boy.
No, Fat Burger. It was called Fat
Oh,
Burger.
is it Fat Burger?
You know who also went to Fat Burger in What's Happening? There was a Fat Burger in this show, What's Happening, where Rerun ate some Fat Burgers. But anyway, I used to flick fucking ants off burgers to eat. And then I called my mom with my tail between my legs, and they sent me enough money to get me a Greyhound back to Florida. But yeah, I was homeless at one time. It wasn't fun. It sucked. Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you tell your roommates you like Manowar. They throw your ass out.
I know, right? And they left because they were false metal posers. They couldn't handle the true metal.
All right. Well, why don't you take the next song, Ashes to Ashes?
This is my favorite song off the album. It's so fucking unique. You know, this song is kind of like, I equate it to I Am the Walrus. Because I Am the Walrus is so weird, yet, you know, we connect to it. And this is like I Am the Walrus. It's so fucking odd. But there's a connection. And I love the changes. I love the part where he goes, I never done good things. I've never done bad things. And then at the end, to me, that's climactic. My mama said, you better not jump. What is it? Don't mess with Major Tom. Fucking amazing song. This is definitely my top 5 greatest David Bowie songs. And the video to this song is fucking awesome. Now, I remember this shit when it was brand new. This was pre-MTV. I remember in this on either Don Kirshner or Midnight Special. I remember watching this video, being freaked out by it. It scared me. This video fucking scared me. It's so out there. But at the time, too, I wasn't full-blown metal yet. I was getting into Devo, you know, some weird shit. And it appealed to me, though. You know, unfortunately, I wish I would have bought this album back then. So then I would have enjoyed the Glass Spider tour more. But what a fucking song, man. My favorite song off the album, Ashes to Ashes, which is, I believe, part 4 of the Major Tom story.
No, I think it's just part 2.
No, Life on Mars is about Major Tom.
Oh, okay.
And I think this is part 3, but I think there were 2 more after. Hey, let us know in the comments below, you David Bowie experts / scumbags. You know, I'm not sure if you know this, Ian. David Bowie experts are scumbags.
Oh, so they like Oasis too?
Viva Poland.
Well, I gotta say, yeah, definitely the best song on the fucking album. It's an eargasm. It's a perfect fucking song. I love it. This is totally like the 70s meets the fucking 80s. Like fucking head on. I just love this shit.
But
you know, you talk about
think about the song though. It doesn't. It has elements that aren't in any song, which how I equate. I Am the Walrus has all that string shit, crazy string shit. This has that boom, 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 boom. You know, these weird sounds that it's original as fuck, man.
Oh yeah, no, I agree, and that's why I'm saying it's the perfect blend of, you know, the eras coming together. It has like a 70s aesthetic to it, but it has an 80s sound. And
I see what you're saying. It does bridge a gap.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's revolutionary, um, and it's kind of cool because it comes out of one. Like you kind of see it out of one side. It's like him trying to like grasp back to the past, but then to reach for the future in the other hand. But where it meets is fucking amazing. And the video, even though I would say this was my least favorite, like out of all the characters and the different personas that Bowie had. There was Ziggy Stardust, there was the Thin White Duke. There's all this shit. But in this, he's like the fucking French gay fucking clown.
I love it. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite because it's so
Oh,
fucking out there, man.
oh no, no, I get what you're saying, but I hate it at the same time because fuck the French. Nothing. I swear to God, Man of War is French because they fucking suck. Um,
That's
you
all.
know,
I love the picture behind you more than all the other David Bowie pictures. That Scary Monsters picture, because it's just so
yeah.
fucking out there, man.
Oh shit. That reminds me, I haven't switched my background in a while here. Here we go. Find something more appealing for you. There you go. You'll love this shit. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, I love that, man.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Fucking weird as fuck.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Kind of big. But anyway, I love this fucking song. And go back to fucking 1980, when this shit came out, and you hear all the fucking tripe that's coming out and disco and shit like this. It's borrowing from everything he's done in the past, but what he's going to do in the future. Amazing track. Um, I love how he goes back to Major Tom, but now he's like Major Tom is a junkie, and he's dealing with like his own drug addiction, that he was really like, you know, you go back to, albums like Station to Station, which is, I mean, you listen to Station to Station, you get a coke drip. Those of you who have partaken in the white powder, you get that drip in the back of your throat. They call it the freeze. You can just taste it when you listen to that album. Well, that's a little left over here. You get that too. But it's just, I don't know. It's like being before the game, realizing the game, and being ahead of the game. Uh, it's awesome. This video at the time cost, I believe, £250,000, which in today's economy, they said would be the equivalent of $1.5 million to do this video. But you see it. I mean, it is, when everybody else is just doing basically like a live thing or some like lame ass shit. This is David Bowie. Like the video is going to match the fucking music. And then that's why, he totally lends himself to the video era because he is an artiste, not just musically, but visually. Yeah, it's an incredible fucking video. The first of two for this album. Love it. Love Ashes to Ashes. An incredible track. I'll take the next one, Fashion, which was the second single and video for this album. Love it. This is Golden Years Part 2. I love it. Beep, beep. Uh, Fucking killer. And the video again is, I love that the video for this one is just as like weird, but so different from Ashes to Ashes. And then for some reason, G. Smith from the Saturday Night Live band and Hall & Oates is playing guitar in the video. Even though he didn't play on the album, David Bowie did not tour for this album. He said he did not tour again until the Let's Dance album came out. He dedicated himself more to acting and shit like that. But I love Fashion. Turn to the right, Fashion. We are the Goon Squad and we're coming to town. Beep, beep. I love it. It's very There's something very German and Nazi-esque about it, and I love it. The song sounds fascist, like fashion is.
Well, that's
Uh,
what it's about.
what's that?
This song's about fascism, not fashion.
Yeah, but no, it shows how the two go hand in hand.
It's a play on words. They're saying fascism like short.
Yeah,
It's fashion, but it's really fascism.
turn to the right.
Where a lot of people think this song's about clothes.
Yeah, no, it's about wearing a MAGA hat and a Man of War shirt. To me, you know, but I
So,
fucking love.
so I'm a Manowar fan.
Well, what do you think of fashion? Turn to the
I
left.
love it. This is a song I think, even though it's off the wall and not normal, it's the most upfront song on here. I think it's the most accessible song on here, even though it's not an accessible song. I think it's very heavy. And the video features Alan Hunter, who later became an MTV VJ.
Alan Hunter's in this video.
Yeah, watch it. He's got a couple.
I watch it. I need to watch it again.
Yeah. The guy that's wearing the big fake nose.
Oh, really?
He turns to the camera. He's like, "Fashion." That's Alan Hunter.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Nice.
I love it. Like I said, it ain't about clothes. I fucking love it. This would be my third favorite song off the album. Absolutely love fashion. All right, next one's called Teenage Wildfire. And you know that David Bowie said in 2008, this is one of his favorite songs ever.
Yeah. He played this on the tour that I saw, but because the set list was cut that night, he didn't play it.
Well, I think his voice is so amazing on this track, and this is the one. This is a song on the album at the end, man. It almost brings me to tears. The way he delivers his vocals toward the end of the song, I get kind of emotional. Knowing that he's no longer here, and it's like I get that way, man. When a musical genius dies, I get choked up, man. Like I told you, I cried for those about to rock. That was soon after Malcolm died. I cried.
That's
Yeah.
when I watch those videos that he did, for Black Star.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see he's like riddled with cancer, and he's so thin, but he's like, this is how I'm going out to the last minute. I'm going to do art, Oh, fucking chokes me out. I watched both the video. I watched Lazarus and Black Star right before we did this episode, and just like, oh my God. The way this man was committed to what he did, like, I'm not just going to lay on a bed and die. I'm going to do art till the fucking day I die. Fucking gives you chills, man.
Did you ever see those pictures that he in a suit that he took 2 days before he died?
Yeah.
It's like he's laughing at the face of death.
Yeah.
I mean, he
But
knew
he went
he thought he was going to die that day. He lasted 2 days after that, but he wanted to take pictures laughing the day he died.
Yeah. He went out on his own terms, man, and he did it till the fucking very end. And I think that's what's so amazing when you look at artists like, you look at him and then you look at Paul Stanley, like, I don't want to write new songs because people will go pee-pee while we play them. And Bowie could give two fucks. He's like, I'm going to do me till I fucking go out. And that's a true artist versus somebody who's going out for a paycheck,
And David Bowie really aged well.
Oh, yeah.
He looked amazing. I don't know if you've seen this, but I highly recommend everybody watch this. David Bowie on the Conan O'Brien show. Did you ever see that?
I don't think I saw it.
It's genius. The way that Conan played off of Bowie back and forth, and there was even a part that Conan grabbed the guitar and gave Bowie lyrics, and it was the Space Oddity, but Bowie was singing about how good Conan is, but the way Bowie would deliver the line, it was like he was like, the fuck am I singing? fucking genius. Conan O'Brien actually did a montage of a tribute to David Bowie when he died, where he showed, because David Bowie was on his show many times. Watch,
Nice.
he's like, I never realized what an amazing talk show guest he is, because I don't think I've ever seen him on a talk show.
Yeah.
But
No, I need to check
he
that out.
played like a skit. He was doing skits with Conan. Fucking genius. Good stuff, man.
Awesome.
But yeah, fashion, fucking love. Oh, Teenage Wildfire. Like I said, I love it. I get emotional toward the end of it. I love his voice.
All right. Longest song on the album. This was seen by many when it came out as a fuck you to Gary Newman at the time of its release. And, Dave's kind of gone back and forth on what he feels the lyrics are about. But you kind of get that, it's like other people are making money kind of doing what he did before, and I could see like the bitterness there, but also just like I love the gravitas, just say like, okay, whatever, I did it first. Even though, like I said, there's a lot of things that David did, I think he was very original in, and other things where he kind of morphed what other people were doing. You take the lyrics for what they are, but I think it's a great fucking track. I love Teenage Wildlife. Wish I could have got to see it live. But then we'll go on to the next track, which is Scream Like a Baby. Oh, I love this one. Love this one. To me, a great album track. Almost played live. This one was rehearsed to play live, I believe, on the Glass Spider tour. But it ended up not getting played. But I dig this one. To me, this is a great album cut. Great deep track. Just a cool, dark vibe to this one. What do you think, Ralph?
It's my least favorite on here, but it's not bad.
Really?
It's not bad, but it kind of like reeks of filler a bit to me. I'm not really a fan of it. This is the only song on this album that I'm like, I don't hate it though. It's not a bad song, but it's not as good as everything else that came before and after it, in my opinion. Like Kingdom Come. Kingdom Come is an absolute gem of a cover song. And Bowie brings this song to life because just today I listened to the original from Tom, what is his name? Tom Verlaine?
Yeah, from television.
It's kind of lame. David Bowie makes it awesome. Listen to the original. I didn't like it. David Bowie makes it kick ass. I love it. That's what I feel about Kingdom Come.
Well, I will say I lean more towards the original musically, but I'm a big television fan. I mean, I like, the television albums more than Tom's solo album. But I like Tom's more musically, but on this one, Dave's vocals is what takes this shit to the next level. I do find it kind of weird that there's a cover on this one, though. But this was his guitar player brought this to his attention, and Dave really liked it. And the guitar player said, "Hey, this kind of reminds me of something you would do," and Dave loved it as well. And did it. And again, Dave's vocals are amazing. Just musically, I like the more stripped down version that Tom, what the fuck's his name? How do I pronounce his last name?
Verlaine.
Yeah, Verlaine. I like it musically, more stripped down. But the vocals by Dave are amazing. We'll go on to the next track, which is Because You're Young, which features none other than Pete Townsend on guitar, even though he's very down low in the mix. I love this one. This is a great deep cut for the album. I've never heard anything about this song being played live or like anybody talking about this one. But this is definitely, I don't even know if I'd call it killer filler because I don't consider it like a filler track. I just think it's a killer fucking track. Um, and I really dig it. I mean, I would have never known it was Pete Townsend playing guitar on this if you didn't tell me. Um, but it wouldn't change the way I feel about the song either way. I think it's just a great album track. What do you think, Ralph?
Love it. He wrote the song about his son, Duncan.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and haunting. And yeah, it's a total deep cut. But I love this song. I think it's fucking great. And then we end it with It's a Game 2. Now, this one, I like more than It's a Game 1. I like the way, I mean, I love how he's ripping his throat out on the first track. But on this track, he has a more mellow approach vocally. And I love it. I love it even more, you know? And yeah. And I love the contrast too to part 1 and part 2. But yeah, I prefer this one. This was a great way to end this album. And I like how it's bookended with the bizarre version and the last version, not as bizarre and much more. I don't know. To me, it was much, I connected with both, but that one I even connected with more. That's how I feel about that song, Ian. And that's the last song on the album.
Well, I feel exactly the same way you did. I mean, you hit on a lot of points that I was going to. I like this even more than part 1. I like his approach more on this one. And again, like you said, I think it makes us feel like a cohesive piece of work because there is that, it takes where you started and then it changes at the end. This originally it wasn't supposed to be the end. The end was a track called Japanese something or other. I don't know what the fuck. Instrumental ended up being a B-side on one of the singles. But at the last minute, he changed it to do this, and it's like the musical segments are kind of the same, but played at a different tempo, different lyrics and everything. But yeah, it's a great fucking bookend. And what a great way to make it feel like a journey, a fucking, not a journey album, but an album that's a journey. Love it. Love it. This one to me works.
This album is sonically unbelievable.
Yeah.
What he achieved with these songs is so original and sickening.
Yeah.
Because I will say there's a lot of art rock like this I fucking hate. That artsy fartsy Cure shit. Where here it just connected with me. He does a lot of the art. It's like art rock, with new wave. I hear new wave in here too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The new wave influence. I hear Devo. I hear B-52s. I hear a little bit of Sparks. That Sparks band back then. I hear a little of that in there. The Squeeze, the early Squeeze stuff.
Yeah.
I hear it all in this album, but done right. I like it more than all those bands I just mentioned, though. I do own the first Squeeze album. I love that album. Hole in My Heart. What a song.
Well, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is Dave, like, realizing his influence on other people and what's selling and what's popular, but him putting it through his filter, not doing an outright just copy, but like his interpretation of what other people have done with what he's done before. So in that aspect, I think it's awesome. It did incredible in Europe. It debuted I think it was his first #1 album since Diamond Dogs, and was his return to the charts in the States. Even though I was amazed this hasn't even gone gold in the U.S. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Debuted at #1. Uh, hold on. We got it's time for a background change. Um, yeah, I was really surprised by that. I thought it did better than that. But he would expand upon this. I mean, it was well received, but you know, he would take it a step further with the next album, Let's Dance, which, I think we kind of both feel the same about that. Well, I probably like it more than you,
I
but
don't like it at all, actually, at all.
oh, really?
Not one track.
Okay.
I tried.
I Oh, I love Let's Dance. I love Modern Love. I love, the Cat People song. But then there's a bunch of other songs I'm like, you know. Um, but I get it, and I see why people like, always every album since then is compared to this, and like he said, why don't we just make a joke? Best since, Scary Monsters. Because this is him being, artistically successful and just successful, outright, I think, staying true to himself, but doing something that reached a lot of people, even though, maybe not here in the US where they all wanted to hear, Manowar, you know. But I dig the fuck out of this album, and I was blown away when you requested this, and I have no idea how this episode will do, and I could give two fucks
One
because
per-
I'm just
I hope I turn on one person to it. And
yeah. Hey,
of course, the people that are already fans of the album, it'd be good to hear what you all think.
yeah, I'd be surprised to see whatever rebuttals or comments we have on this.
If
But
one
on this
person, just one person out there, gets into Scary Monsters, Ian will suck your dick.
hard, man, hard.
So
All right,
you better like it, you son of a bitch.
that's right. Or I'll school your ass.
Recon style.
Yeah. All right. Well, this album was released September 12th, 1980. Produced by David Bowie and Tony Visconti. This would be the last album he did with Tony Visconti, I think, for like 27 years. Um, Killer album. All right. Well, now it's time to go into pick of the week. Ralph, do you have a pick of the week?
No. But you know what I'm going to do, Ian? I'm going to randomly pick something, and that'll be my pick of the week. I think I should do this every other show. Just go pick them out.
All right.
All right. I'll go. Let's go on this side over here.
Right over there.
You tell me
Keep
what.
going. Keep going. Keep going. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there.
Right here?
Right there.
All right. This is my pick of the week. I got to pick something else. This is a Cannibal Corpse album signed by everybody. But now it's not one of their better albums.
Which one was it?
All right. Well, should I go in the same section again?
No, go down one level. There you go. Right there. That one.
Oh, this is great. Acquiring the Taste, Gentle Giant. I believe this is their second album, or I think it's their second one.
Yeah.
Again, if you like Scary Monsters, you definitely got to look into Gentle Giant because they're fucking bizarre, awesome. They make no sense whatsoever. Really hard to digest, but for some reason, I've become a huge fan of this band. And my friend Jacob Smith not only bought me this vinyl, he bought me the whole Gentle Giant discography. And my favorite is Octopus, but I love that album. That album is fucking out there. Gentle Giant, Acquiring the Taste, is my pick of the week.
Nice. All right. Well, my pick of the week, I'm sticking with who we're talking about, David Bowie, and I'm going with, I think it's Let me double check. I want to say, fuck it, I ain't looking it up. I'm too drunk. I think it's 75. But anyway, David Bowie, Diamond Dogs.
Yeah, good one.
That is my pick of the week. This was, it was supposed to be his like interpretation of George Orwell's 1984. And as he was getting closer to putting it out, the family of George Orwell wouldn't like sign off on shit, so he had to change some stuff. But it's basically his version of 1984. And what a dark fucking album. Very dark album. But very cool musical. It was David, like, changing, this wasn't like Ziggy Stardust shit. It wasn't Aladdin Sane shit. This was him going in a whole nother fucking direction. But what a great, the title track alone and, Rebel Rebel. But it's all about the album tracks, man. It's fucking amazing, amazing, dark fucking album. And I think that would be one of those, like, if you're curious about David after this album, I wouldn't say necessarily this is the, this is just me speaking personally. I don't know if this is the best place to start, but I would say, like, if you just like, I don't know none of this motherfucker other than what I hear on the radio. I would say Diamond Dogs would be a great one to check out and just, dip your toes in it. What do you think?
I think Ziggy Stardust would be a good starter point.
Yeah.
I don't like or don't know David Bowie. Check out Ziggy Stardust. That I think is the most accessible album he's ever made. But man,
yeah. For Weird David though, I think this is a good.
Yeah. But if you're weird like me, The Man That Sold the World. That to me is still my favorite David Bowie. That album is fucking phenomenal. That first song, Something Circle, amazing, amazing, amazing fucking album. Period.
Awesome. Well, now it's time to go to the fan of the week, and fan of the week is somebody that, like, I almost called it a 0 hour to see if he wanted to be part of this episode, and then I was like, you know what? This motherfucker abandoned California, and California is going through so much shit right now with the wildfires. But Edwin Canistracci, I love this motherfucker, but he turned his back on California to move to fucking Tampa? Tampa? Land of the fucking retirees? When you used to be in the City Angels? Not cool.
Yeah, he's listening because he likes this album. We should have invited him on.
Oh, I know. I should have. I should have. But out of respect to, like, the 13 people who died in California, I'm like, he moved to fucking Tampa.
You're telling me that it's Edwin's fault they died?
Pretty much.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Shame on you, Edwin.
Well, when Edwin lived in California, he used to, like, comb the fucking, the parks and shit. He would clean up all the debris that ended up catching on fire, and then he moved to Tampa and there was nobody to do it, But, no, I saw a post, it's like, hey, and first and foremost, I want to say, man, fucking, hearts out to everybody suffering in fucking California right now, and all the, landmarks and fucking, homes lost and everything,
They say it might hit the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh.
Hollywood.
Could you imagine?
It's in
and that's what's fucked up. I know it's a fucked up way to look at things because, we're looking more at like landmarks than people who lost their fucking homes. And it's kind of hard, because, there's some rich people that, like Mel Gibson lost his house. Who gives a fuck? Mel Gibson's got insurance. Mel Gibson's got fucking all this other shit. I could give 2 fucks if fucking Mel Gibson's house burned down.
Adrian Smith's house burned down.
Again, sucks. But we're talking about people who can financially recover. There's a lot of other people who maybe financially can't recover from this shit who've lost their homes. I mean, what they say, like 19,000, buildings, houses, My heart goes out to the people who can't afford to fucking rebuild or can't afford to like, oh, I'll just go to my house in Spain while my new shit gets rebuilt. You know, there's regular working stiffs who have fucking lost everything, and that sucks. And that's the reason I didn't have fucking Edwin Canestracci on this episode, because he spits in their face by moving to fucking a shithole like Tampa for basic bitches who listen to Manowar. You
Shame
know?
on you, Edwin.
Shame, shame, shame.
Oh yeah, that guy was awesome. Sean Morris.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, seriously, everybody who's in California, uh, you know, yeah, it sucks. I heard the fires still aren't hot enough though to cook those shitty fucking corn dogs that Mark Allen Taylor makes. You know, they're still undercooked. But you know, to everybody suffering out there, Vincent Kavanaugh, love Vincent Kavanaugh. He keeps checking in, letting people know he's all right. And I know this motherfucker, you know, he's on the road right now working and stuff. And you know, that's got to be hard to be away from your home while all this shit's going on. Like, oh, is my shit okay? You know, while I'm out here trying to earn a fucking buck. Uh, Man, tough shit. You know, that's real world problems. That ain't white girl fucking problems. But anyway, my heart's with you, and that's why Edwin Canestracci is our fan of the week, but he's not on this episode because he moved to Florida like a bitch. But I love you.
Yeah, well, Edwin is a great supporter of the show, contributes,
Love him.
and he does some great YouTube videos. I love his channel. Check out his
Oh,
those rankings and his, you know, very interesting guy. I got to meet
fuck.
I got to meet him once. We hung out at a bar. Me,
I love it.
Daniela, and Edwin met up before we saw the Misfits and Megadeth. Megan
And you know what? I want to hang out with Edwin at Rockin' Pod because he has no excuse for not being at Rockin' Pod. If he lived in California, I'd be like, hey, I can't afford to go, my house burned down. But he lives in shitty ass fucking Tampa. So your ass better get to Rockin' Pod and hang out with us.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. If Mark Allen Taylor says, I can't fucking make it this year because Disneyland burnt down, I have no job, I would understand. You know, I'd be like, that's okay. I met you once. I don't want to hang out with you again anyway. You know?
I mean, Mark is like a musician. You know, like musicians say, look, man, I got to keep going on the road. I got to keep performing because I don't know there's nothing else I can do except for music. Mark, who the hell is going to hire people that know how to cook corn dogs?
Well, that's a great thing is like there's carnivals and fairs everywhere. He could always.
He's gonna have to be a carny. He's got to go out on the road.
Right. But I'm saying with some basic math, he can figure out how to cook an elephant ear, you know, or some cotton candy. You know, you gotta work with it, you know. But he can evolve, you know. But Edward Canestracci, your ass safe from the fires there in goddamn Tampa, Florida. You better be at Rockin' Pod. You're a fan of the week, for Christ's sake.
Well, just pray for fires in Tampa. Everything will be solved then.
Yeah. Yeah, but what are you going to kill? A bunch of retired Jews?
Now you're not going to kill nobody because unlike California, we got water to put it out.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
It's the truth. Come on.
It's topical and true.
Let's cut the bullshit. Let's shit the bed. California's a fucked up state. After all, Mark lives there.
And they hired him. You know, you think like, make him go to Idaho to find a job.
Mark Allen Taylor contributes to society in California.
Contribute's a strong word.
Well, society's a strong word too for California, right?
Anyway, next week we're recording 2 episodes. We're gonna do Dockin' with fucking Dick Twatkins, Back for the Attack, and we're gonna do the Ramones' Road to Ruin with the great Chris Czynszak. That's next week, a doubleheader on the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
Smack 'em a gob.
All right, brother.